Hi guys, this is Pete and this is my United point of view. This video is just about the obviously the interest of United taking Wout Weghorst on loan. I just put a few things out there on Twitter and just kind of wanted to discuss the player, to see what you guys thought. Obviously, put my opinions out there on it too. Before we get into it, today's video is sponsored by the guys over at Ball Tactics. Check out their website for match previews and reviews with some tongue-in-cheek humour and a great insight into the game. They're putting out some really good stuff. There's been some interesting stuff put on about Wout Weghorst. Check that out as well, guys. The writing on it's really good. It's worth the 5-10 minutes it takes to read it. So, what we're going to go into, I put a poll out there on Twitter, just my thoughts as well, and also another tweet that I put out there asking your guys' thoughts. Before we get into that, I just want to obviously talk about Weghorst a bit. So I've done a little bit of research on like his career and stuff, just to see how many appearances he's made, how old he is, how tall he is, things like that. So he's 30 years old, he's 6'6", and he's made 407 appearances in all competitions for clubs, scoring 171 goals. So it's just less than a goal every 2 games, his conversion rate, which isn't really bad. Obviously, in his time at Burnley, he only scored 2 goals, but I honestly think there was a problem there for them creating chances for him. I don't think they knew how to play with him. I think in this United team, he'll get a lot more chances to score. So obviously, I think you'd see him scored, a few more chances. For me, my thoughts on it, I kind of it's not our first choice signing. That's obvious. Obviously, we all know that he's not the player that we'd go for if we had any money to spend. But I think it's a good option. It's something different to what we have. It's he's a total different option to Martial and Rashford, who you can play up front for United, who have 2 very similar profiles. I think with Weghorst, big tall fella, good with his head, good at holding up the ball. His pressing stats are actually insane. Loves to press from the front. He's got a lot of effort into him. And for the size of him, he shifts fairly quick. He's pretty quick for a big lad. So I think these are all positives. Obviously, he wouldn't be the first player you'd think of, but from what I've been reading, Ten Hag is the one who's interested in this transfer. And for me, if you need to back the manager. If the manager tells you a player you want to get, and this is the player he wants you to get, then you have to try and get him. I think, time will tell whether it's going to be a good loan signing or not, or permanent signing, because I've read rumours it might be a permanent signing. But, time will tell on whether it's a good decision or not. But, the risk is very minimal. Like, if he comes in and does nothing right, it's fine. But he's been on loan and we just won't start him. But if he comes in, scores 6 or 7 goals, makes a difference, to us finishing higher up the table, to us winning a trophy, then it's a great signing. So it's just kind of one of those where there's a little bit of risk, but the risk isn't too great. So now I'm going to go into the poll that I put out. So I just put out there, are you happy with a possible loan move for Weghorst Reds? And this poll got 76 votes and a couple of comments on it as well. So the 3 options that I put out there was happy, bring him in. The second option was kind of undecided, and the last option was fuming, crap transfer. So, like I say, there was 76 votes. In third place in the voting was fuming crap transfer, with only 10% of you guys saying that it was a crap transfer. Then in second place in the voting was with 32% kind of undecided, people that are just like, see how it goes. I think they're waiting to see how he does before making a decision. And then 58% of you guys went with happy, bring him in. And that's kind of my thing. I think, at least we're getting a player on loan, a decent player. So who's a different option, who's covering for Martial, who's quite injury prone. So obviously I get why a lot of people are just like, yeah, bring him in, it's worth the risk. So I got 2 comments on this tweet. So the first comment was from at JRAD198900, and he said he could get 5 or 6 goals for us, and that could be the difference in winning trophies, finishing in 2nd or 3rd or whatever. The kind of player we need up top, physical, can make a nuisance of himself and knows where the goal is, which is a fair kind of assessment of the type of player that he is. You know, he's physical, he gets in people's faces, he's actually got a decent bit of touch and like vision about him from what I've seen of him. So obviously that's that one. So the next one is from at Martinez SZN, and he said I would have gone for option 4, which is if it's the best we can do, then get him. And I think this is kind of the best we can do. I don't think we're going to go for the Felix loan because the finance in it is too much. You know, he's on 200 and something grand a week, and they want, 8 million for us to loan him, and that's not even on, you know, a permanent option. So it looks like there's no option in there to buy him, which puts the power more in their hands. If he has a good time, they'll charge more money. If, you know, at least if you're going to get João Felix, you need that option of a certain price, so you know that if he comes and scores 10, 12 goals, that they're not going to fleece you. And I think that's why we're not going to do that deal. So then I put out another tweet, just asking for you guys' thoughts, and if the signing happens, like, are you happy with it? Kind of similar to the poll, but I just wanted to get more of your thoughts. So I got quite a lot. I think I got like 8 or 9 comments on this, which is really good. So the first one was from Abit Camisa HI12 said, let's get him. Nice simple one. I think obviously people are just like, yeah, bring him in, see what happens. And then the next one was from at Martinez SZN, and he said, I'm not against it, to be honest. Just, you know, if it happens, he's not gonna kick off. Some fans are saying, like I've seen on Twitter, a lot of fans are saying that they're gonna kick off about it if we get Felix. If we don't get Felix and we get him instead, and I get that, but I think, you know, we've got to be happy with any reinforcements we get when we're being told there's basically zero money. So then the next one was from at Glenn Ethics, and he said, I'll trust the manager to incorporate him when he sees fit or when he sees he can do a job during a game. Which, yeah, you've got to trust in Ten Hag. You know, he obviously knows the player. The guy's played in Holland and in Germany. Ten Hag knows who he is. He's obviously thought that's a player who can do a job for me. Obviously, he has scored a fair few goals in his career, and like I said before, his pressing stats are pretty good, and I think those are things that Ten Hag will have looked at before making his decision. And then the next comment was from at Samuel Odaba 76, and he said he's going to be good under ETH, under Erik Ten Hag. I have a high belief and trust in Ten Hag. For me, his system will suit any player, and that player will become the best. Now, I do agree that obviously I put a lot of trust in the manager. I think he knows what he's doing. Up to now, he's got these players that last season were playing like a big pile of crap, now playing like an actual football team, working together, you know, fighting for each other. And the difference he's made in the small amount of time he's been here just makes you have to trust what decisions he makes. And if he decides Wout Weghorst is the player for him, then you have to accept that decision, in my eyes, as a fan. So the next comment was from at rstevens1995, and he said, yeah, I'm all for this. He provides us with a different option to what we have. Has a decent scoring record apart from Burnley, where they struggled to create chances for him. And he had the highest pressing stats in the Premier League. the season he was there, which Eric will love, which I agree with. I think obviously that's why he didn't want Ronaldo, because Ronaldo wouldn't press from the front. You know, obviously Ronaldo a great player, but if the player's not going to do what you ask them, then obviously they can't stay, and that was why he left in the end. So the last one on this is a little bit of a longer one. It's 2 tweets together. It's from @anirban 04199677, and he said, "He can be our plan B striker, which we have lacked last season and this season too. He's strong in the air and good with hold-ups. Don't forget that he has over 150 goals between the Dutch and German league. We have already seen with Cavani how much a typical striker brings." That's true. And he says, "I think he will be good." And then his next tweet was, "Also, some of our fans are asking for Felix. João Felix is a talented guy, but he is not that prolific a scorer," which is something I've said before. You know, I just don't think the numbers add up with Felix for the money they would want for a permanent transfer and the money they want for the loan. I just don't think the goals he scores and creates add up to that price. But obviously Atletico paid a lot of money for him and they want to recoup that back. And he says, "He is yet to have a 20+ goal season, and we already have a profile similar to him in Martial. We need someone different," and I do agree in that. I think obviously, you know, we do need a different type of player, someone that can do things differently, that, you know, is gonna give us another option. You know, if we're 1-0 down or drawing 1-1, you've got 25 minutes to go. Martial's not had the best game. Turn to Weghorst, stick him on, see what he can do. You know, he's not going to make it worse. He gives you a different option. You know, you can punt it into him. You can use him to hold up, to link other players in. So for me, it's a good option. Obviously not our first choice. You know, if I had my first choice of striker, it would be Tony or Osimhen. You know, they would be my type of striker that I'd like to see United go for. But as a 6-month hold-up option, or, you know, if he does well and then we buy him, but we'll have to see. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion on it. And, you know, I just hope if we do get him, which it's looking more and more likely, I've seen a lot of things from Romano and stuff today. This is the reason why I've done this transfer video. I've not really been doing them because I don't want to just go off, you know, random sources. But when I see Romano put something out there that we're definitely interested in a player, I don't mind doing transfer videos. I just want it to be a bit concrete. I don't want to, you know, feed lies about 100 different players that we're not actually interested in. So I just want to kind of finger the stories that I know are actually kind of true. And now there's a lot of people come out and said we are interested in Weghorst. We're hoping to get him on loan. We're now waiting for Besiktas and Burnley to come to agreement to terminate his loan contract, so he can then be either loaned or sold to United. So we'll have to see how it goes over the next couple of days, but I'm quite positive. I think we will get him, and I think it's not a bad signing. So that's it from me, guys. Thanks for tuning in. It's just a bit of a short video. Something new, something different for me to do, and I've really enjoyed it. Before you go, remember to like the video, you know, click that subscribe button. I think I'm on 39 subscribers now, only 11 away from getting to that 50 that I need to start doing lives. So I'd appreciate anyone who clicks that button. If you're new to the channel, just, you know, I'm new to this. I'm trying to improve, and I hope to, you know, create a community with it, because I'm just a United fan, and it would be great to, you know, get into contact with other United fans. I'm really enjoying doing this. So thanks for tuning in. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Bye.